Well, Leslie, you ready to go on a trip?
Let's go.
I know you like to travel, don't you?
I do like to travel.
And we've been blessed in the last few years to be able to take some really neat trips outside the United States and see some really neat things. But living here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, I want to talk to you today about the Shenandoah Valley and how it mirrors other countries around the world. Want to know what that is? Well, hang around to the end and you'll find out. But let's go ahead and get started right now.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Hi, my name's Stephen.
And I'm Leslie.
And as local real estate agents here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, we love to help folks when they call us, text us, or email us. That information is in the description down below. It's been our honor to help so many folks buy and sell homes here in the area. We truly feel honored and privileged. Maybe you're looking to do that now. We'd love to help you as well. Just check that information out and give us a call. Let us know how we can help you as well. Additionally, if you like our channel, click that subscribe button, touch that bell icon. You can follow along for all of our adventures. That's right, and looking at homes and neighborhoods, special events, and talking about things like today, how the Shenandoah Valley is like other places around the world. All right, Leslie, so let's just go ahead and let's get into the question of the day here, and that is, how is the Shenandoah Valley like other places around the world?
Okay.
I think to us, probably one of the most similar things about it, we would compare this area to Scotland.
Well, that's probably because it's one of our favorite places that we've gone.
We do. We really enjoyed Scotland and the Highlands and the mountains here in our area as well. And the geography is similar. Of course, we're not on an island, but
We're not?
but no, we're not. But the geography is similar,
It is.
and you got the mountains and the
Craggy
valleys.
mountains,
Yeah.
streams,
Yeah,
and
the rivers and-
lakes,
yeah.
and the trees, and the craggy rocks.
Yep.
and-
And how about the sheep and the cattle?
Oh, forget about those.
Yep.
The sheep and the cattle, yes.
Well, you know, I mean, we have so many sheep here in the Shenandoah Valley.
We
I mean,
do.
you drive down the road and it just dots the landscape. And I know that's one of your favorite
Oh,
things about living here.
yes. I love watching the sheep all over the lovely green pastures and the sides of the mountains that we have around here.
It's just so pastoral, I guess
It
you
is.
might say.
It is.
Of course, we got cows too.
We do have
Okay.
cows, but in Scotland they're called coos.
Exactly right. That must be a dialect thing there,
Yeah,
I
I think
guess.
so.
But you know, and that's one of the neat things. You talk about the cows. You know, there's a lot of beef and a lot of agriculture here in the
Yes.
area. And for the last year or so, we've actually got our own cow. We bought a half a cow
We
twice.
did.
And man, you talk
That
about
makes
the
a whole.
Wow, the math genius, folks.
That's as far as it goes.
But no, you're right, and I know you really like cooking that meat.
I do. It's grass-fed, pasture-raised, beef that
Mm-hmm.
we have found a local farmer here to source that from, and it reminds us of the freshness of the food that we got when we were in
Yeah.
Scotland.
No doubt. And I mean, there's not as much agriculture in Scotland as
No.
there is here, and of course, there's differences as well.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not exactly like, but when I see those sheep, the cattle, it reminds us
The
of Scotland.
same.
Exactly. Now, of course, the climate is a little bit
Yeah.
different as well. Our summers are probably warmer here,
Right.
and but at the same time, you've also got that fog, and we'll get every once in a while we'll get that
We
fog.
do.
Sometimes on top of the mountain, sometimes in the valley, and
Absolutely.
that reminds you of Scotland as well. And so, like I say, there's a lot of things that really remind me of the Scottish Highlands of being here. Another one of the things is the rural, quaint communities.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're so cool to go into these little places and to see the little pubs or little stores that have local artisans in them.
Yeah. And that's in Scotland and here.
here,
I mean, towns like
both.
Waynesboro, Stanton, Lexington, Bridgewater, Churchville, all of
Right.
those are places that have that. And of course, Scotland is a very popular place tourism-wise as
Tourism,
well.
yeah.
And that
People go visit.
Yeah, and that tourism, I mean, we have a lot of tourism here.
We
And I
do.
mean, it's not huge. It's not like you're going to be packed with, like if you're at the Grand Canyon or Yellowstone National
No.
Park. But we do,
But we do get our fair share.
and we do have Shenandoah National Park, and very great place to go and spend some time doing hiking and many other things. And of course, in the fall of the year, you've got some of the most
A
beautiful
beautiful
views
scenes.
there in the Shenandoah National Park. So like I say, if we're going to talk about comparing the Shenandoah Valley to other places in the world, I really think that while it's not exactly the same,
No.
I think that
Very
one of the
simple.
things it reminds us with the sheep and the cattle, reminds us of Scotland.
Absolutely.
All right, Leslie, so I think the second place in the world outside the United States that the Shenandoah Valley reminds me of is Tuscany, Italy, right around Florence. Would you agree with that?
It does. It reminds me so much of because of all of the wineries that Italy has. We had the privilege, I guess you could say, of taking a cruise.
We got off the plane, rode the train, and after about 20 hours of being up,
we were still awake.
we took an e-bike tour through the
Right.
Chianti wine country outside Florence.
Yeah.
And, you know, I tell you, I got to say, those e-bikes are,
They're fun.
couldn't have done it on a regular bike, I know that.
because of all the hills and everything
Yeah,
else.
made it pretty easy though on those
It did
e-bikes. It was
make
a
it
pretty cool
easier.
tour.
Yeah,
We had a great guide, and
Highly recommend.
was it pretty outside Florence?
It was beautiful with the olives and all of those.
Rolling
rolling
landscapes and all the
landscapes.
vineyards, the olive trees.
Yeah.
It was just really kind of nice. Now, and you know, there's a lot of rich wine traditions in that area. And
Mm-hmm.
there's wine traditions here in our area, different kinds of wines.
Yeah.
But both regions, they boast a long history and a lot of wine production. And
There
the
is.
Shenandoah Valley can be traced all the way back to the 1700s
It is.
with its wine production, much like Italy, which has centuries-old winemaking
Italy's
tradition.
a little older on
Yeah,
that.
it is. But you know, the popularity of those wineries in the Shenandoah Valley has exploded over
It
the last
has.
40 years. And
Especially here in this area.
yeah,
Golly.
and there's a diverse range of wines in both areas, and that's thanks to the
climate.
exactly. And like I say, we've already mentioned the rolling hills and scenic landscapes,
Right.
and you know, just like in that Tuscany, Italy, you know, in the Shenandoah Valley, you've got the hills and the valleys, and you got the fertile soil.
Right.
It's perfect for growing the grapes,
Mhm.
and it just, when you go sit down at a winery, it's pretty.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
It makes it again.
them a real popular destination. Again, going back to that tourism thing,
Yep.
a lot of people come here and order just to go up and down the wine trail that we have featured in the Shenandoah Valley. And actually here on this side of the mountain, there are 22 wineries and vineyards, and each one of them, like you said, have their unique take on all the wines that they have. And a lot of them are family-owned wineries here in the area, and the Shenandoah Valley is just home to numerous family-owned wineries. They're similar to the small little boutique wineries that are, you know, very reminiscent of what we saw in Italy.
Yeah, and no doubt. And of course, along with that wine, you've got a culture as well.
You do.
And along with that wine and its culture, I mean, you have music that takes place and events at the wineries around this area as well.
Right.
And it just depends on where you're at and which winery, from polo to musical events and to all sorts of things, you know, that take place at the wineries. And now, additionally, one of the things about it though is, let's say that you get bored, I don't know how you would, but if you get bored of the 22 wineries on this side of the mountain, the Shenandoah Valley,
Yeah.
just go over to the Charlottesville side, and
Yeah.
you can go on the Monticello Wine Trail,
Yes.
which has at least 43 of its own wineries over there.
Exactly.
And so if you think about that, that's what, 22 and 43, what is it,
He's doing
55? 55, no, 65 wineries. So imagine, and that's not counting the breweries, that's not
No.
counting the cideries.
The Nelson
They're here and there.
151 Trail has all of the breweries
Exactly.
and wineries along it as well. So
Yeah, so like I say, I mean, you could go to a different winery every day or every weekend for probably
I think
about
you
2
even
years is
mentioned-
what
yeah,
I
you did
come
the
up
math on
with.
that
Yeah.
once.
So there's plenty of that. There's plenty of that culture, but bringing it back to the Shenandoah Valley,
right.
I would say that the mountains and the hills around Tuscany
Mm-hmm.
are very similar to the hills and the rills and the mountains on the side here in the Shenandoah Valley, and there's that wine culture when you get to those wineries as well.
Exactly. So we've talked about Scotland, we've talked about Italy, but how about France? Paris, France. Yeah.
Paris, France. We don't have
How
an
is
Eiffel
the
Tower.
Shenandoah Valley?
We got cell phone towers.
Oh, this is true. We do have those, thankfully. So yes, honestly, the Shenandoah Valley is kind of comparable to Paris because, you know, in Paris they have the Louvre where all of that amazing artwork is. Someday we'll get there. Now,
Okay, I get what you're saying. So you're comparing the artwork there at the Louvre to the artwork here, and you know what? You're
Yeah.
right. Now I get it. Our artwork here
more famous
it
in
isn't
Paris.
quite as famous
No.
as what you find in the Louvre, right? But it's certainly there's multiple artists that have come out of the Shenandoah Valley. But the Shenandoah Valley, it really has a huge art scene.
Huge around here.
Yeah, it really does, and it's not without its famous artists as well. For example, have you ever heard of Grandma Moses?
Absolutely.
Well, she lived in the Shenandoah Valley for several years, and many of her paintings reflect that time that she lived here. You know, she's known for her vibrant descriptions of rural life and her folk art style paintings, and she gained international fame later in her life. After having lived in the Shenandoah Valley.
Right.
Another guy.
John Chumley is another one.
Yeah.
He lived from 1928 to 1984, and he's a realist painter. And Chumley was known for his landscape and portraiture, capturing the natural beauty of the people of the Shenandoah Valley and the scene here. He settled in the valley actually in 1962. Through 1984 when he passed away, and he produced over about 500 works of art.
Yeah, very, very well-known artist. Of course, there's also an artist a long time ago, back at the time our country started, Joshua Shaw. Now, he was an English-born American artist who painted several iconic landscapes of the Shenandoah Valley and of Virginia itself, including a view from the top of Natural Bridge in Rockingham County, just south of Lexington.
Rockbridge County?
I'm sorry, Rockbridge County. I get those two mixed up here once in a while.
It's rock.
But it is Rockbridge. And you know, I think he probably would have done better if his most famous painting would have been from the bottom up, looking at the arch. But anyway, he took it up from the top down.
It's just a different perspective.
Exactly. But then there's another one who just recently passed away.
She passed away recently, P. Buckley Moss, and she has a museum, actually, a gallery dedicated to her in Waynesboro, which isn't very far from where we are. She has passed away, and she's a renowned American artist, best known for her distinctive watercolors and her print works that often depict the rural life and the landscapes here in the Shenandoah Valley. So her work actually is frequently featured. And
it has themes. It's the different themes that make her really special, in addition to the
Appalachian culture.
The Appalachian culture, and she's a folk artist, and she's really become an iconic feature in that scene. And like you said, she's got a gallery here in Waynesboro that's been dedicated to her, and you can actually still purchase her paintings.
You can, her prints and her paintings
online. So, or you can visit the museum as well.
Absolutely.
But it's not just about the artists of the past, though, okay?
No, we've actually sold houses to artists who are looking for houses that have a studio in them or someplace where they can set up their studio, and they're all concerned about the light or the area in which they can do their artwork in, and it's pretty cool to see them here in the area as well.
Yeah, and in addition to the ones that we've worked with, we've had also many other local artists with literally thousands of different types of medias that they use and different works and displays, especially in the towns of like Stanton and Lexington and even in Harrisonburg. And you know what? Leslie and I actually did a video. We did a video of the arts in Stanton, and it was a three-part series. And one of those parts was about the media arts, paintings and things like that. And
all the different things you'll find.
Yeah, and we went into multiple art galleries right in downtown Stanton, talked to some of the artists, and I really recommend if you're interested.
Seen it, watch that video.
And watch that video if you're interested in learning more about the arts here in the Shenandoah Valley. But it really is. It's a vibrant art scene.
It is.
If you're not familiar with the area, you might not know that because you think it's a rural community, farming, valley, pretty views, but it's a vibrant art community as well. All right, so Leslie, I think the fourth way that the Shenandoah Valley is like other places in the world, whether it be Japan, or whether it be Italy, or whether it be Greece, or whether it be Germany, or whether it be Thailand, or whether it be, you want me to keep going?
No, I'm good. I think we get the point.
Okay, a lot of places in the world there really is an international cuisine here in the Shenandoah Valley. There's a lot of different types of restaurants. For example, let's start with Italian.
We enjoy trying out all the different kinds of international restaurants.
I will say that I had a Florentine steak in Florence, Italy.
That's true.
Best steak I've ever eaten in my life, no doubt about it.
He allowed me to have one bite of it.
It was good. It was really good. But like I say, when you think of Italy, you might picture fresh pasta, pizza, and those bold Mediterranean flavors. And I know we really like the freshness of the food.
In Italy.
And that's one of the great things about here in the Valley. Many of the restaurants use farm-to-table fresh food in their foods as well. But like I say, did you know that you can find similar authentic Italian experiences right here in the Shenandoah Valley. I know one of our favorites is Bella Luna's wood-fired pizza in Harrisonburg.
It is good. I mean, you can watch them. They've got a huge oven. It's wood-fired, and popping your pizzas in there, and they're really good, and they're very popular. So if you are there on the weekend, or we recommend you get a reservation to get in there.
And then for dessert, you walk 100 feet down the street to
Absolutely.
Bella Luna's gelato.
Gelato.
You get some gelato. So it's like you're back in Italy, you know, with all the gelato and stuff right there in Harrisonburg. There's another place, Romano's. It's an Italian bistro in McGahkeysville, and they've got classic dishes like fettuccine Alfredo, and as they call it, their seafood Romano. What about Vito's Italian Kitchen?
Vito's Italian Kitchen is in Harrisonburg, actually, and this was a really popular spot, and it offers everything from lasagna and rigatoni and creative pizzas, and they even have gluten-free options for those of you that are sensitive to that.
Yeah, no doubt. Now here's the thing. I mean, I get it. These places aren't in Italy, obviously, but they do bring some of that authentic taste from Italy back here to the Shenandoah Valley, and they offer everything from classic pizzas to the comfort food of homemade pastas as well. But we got to go to another one here. Okay,
just up the road here from
right.
where we
That's
live.
Right. Sprechen die Deutsch?
Oh, I don't know. Do they know? That's German.
I don't know. If you speak German, you'd know that. So, but like I say, it is a German cuisine here is amazing, and I think the most awesome place in all the Shenandoah Valley is the Edelweiss German restaurant.
Oh, they serve some amazing food.
Yeah, down in Greenville, and I mean they have. I mean they are just like they're a culinary experience and a culinary tradition, just like some of the restaurants in Germany. I mean, they've got schnitzel.
We actually haven't been to Germany, but we
haven't.
We understand it.
Yeah,
they're very similar.
But I know schnitzel and spätzle, bratwurst, and I mean, when we eat there, you have so much to eat.
Oh my word! You roll.
And it is heavy German food too.
Out of there.
But it's good.
It's very filling. It's good food.
Yeah,
really
sauerkraut. I mean, whatever you want that's German, it is there, and it's really authentic German food.
Yeah.
Like I say, it is really filling. Now, the restaurant doesn't serve up just great food, but it also has a German feel and German culture to it.
Yeah, it's like it reminds you of the Bavarian Alps or Munich, where there's hearty meals and also good beer. They all go hand in hand there, apparently. And Edelweiss delivers you a true taste of what German food would be.
They really do. But the thing about it is, before you leave, you got to make sure you get dessert, and you got to get their Black Forest chocolate cake.
It is to die for.
It is. And
the men in my life, he and our son Caleb, they just absolutely love that cake.
I think one of us even got some of that for a birthday cake one year.
Yes. Well, you both have gotten
Yep.
Black Forest chocolate cake for your
amazing.
birthday.
All right, so for our next international type food, we're going to talk about Mexican food. Now, Leslie and I, we love Mexican food.
We do.
And I know there's Mexican restaurants almost in every town in the United States. But I will do a call. There's a lot of good Mexican restaurants here in the Shenandoah Valley. But I think Leslie and
we're going to give our favorite a shout out.
That's right. Our favorite is Don Tequila's down in Lexington. And they really they bring that authentic Mexican flavors to the Shenandoah Valley here with their dishes like fajitas, of course, and enchiladas and all those other things.
When you eat there all the time, they know you by name. You walk in and they repeat your order back to you before you even actually order it. It's like, oh, you want lunch 13, right?
Yep.
Chicken and rice.
That's right. And chicken enchiladas, you know.
Yeah.
Don't forget an orange Jarritos as well. So
his favorite.
And it's funny because you go there often like we do. It's one of those places that it's just like Cheers, where everybody knows your name, right?
It is.
It really is. All right, and we haven't talked about Mediterranean or Greek food yet, right?
No, we haven't.
There's places here in the Shenandoah Valley that are similar to like what we had over in Athens, right?
Yeah, we loved Athens.
It was really neat, you know. The taste there was
104 degrees.
It was warm the whole time we were there, Italy everywhere. But it's neat. The food is like we talked about earlier. It's fresh, and sometimes the spicing is a little bit different than it is here. But if you're going to get close to that or like it, one of the places you want to go is Nico's Grill down in Lexington, which is going to offer you Greek classics like heroes. And,
you pronounced it correctly.
I did, no, jibers. And you got baklava as well. And it's much like you're going to find in the coastal villages of Greece. not Greek, but Greek food in Greece. So, but then there's other ones
Right,
too.
there's another one in Harrisonburg actually. It's Xenia, and it is a kebab grill, and it takes it up in a little bit, and
Takes it
it
up a
has a
notch.
Middle Eastern and Mediterranean mix, and they offer some mouth-watering kebabs and falafel dishes that are often enjoyed in cities like Athens.
Yeah, and here's the thing: while you might not be strolling through the streets of Athens with the Parthenon on top of the hill, and the Olympic Stadium, and all the old columns, it
So
was
cool.
really neat
It
there.
was so cool.
It really was. You know, these spots here in the Shenandoah Valley really give you a true Mediterranean Greek escape.
They give you a little bit of a reminder.
Exactly, right here in the Shenandoah Valley. Now, there's other diverse culinary experiences as
Right.
well. You're going to find Thai food, Indian food, of course,
Korean.
Chinese food, Korean food as well. And all of these places in the different towns in the Shenandoah Valley.
We can't name them all.
So you have to come and you have to experience it. And if you've eaten at some of these places or you know some places,
Let us know.
Let us know.
If we haven't mentioned someplace and it's a favorite of yours, tell us.
tell us where those great places are. We'll talk about
We'll
them.
try
And,
it out.
and if we haven't been there, we'll go too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Leslie, so let's
Right.
go to the fifth way. This is going to be our final way
Final.
of how the Shenandoah Valley is like other places around the world. And I would say that is with its representation of many international companies.
Right.
You know, for example, we'll just list a few. You've got Heidelberg Materials. Yeah, that's Germany, right? They're, like I say, based in Germany, but they're found in Front Royal. Yeah, and Heidelberg Materials is one of the world's largest building materials companies, and they specialize in concrete and cement and other aggregates.
Right.
But there's more than that.
There are. So we also have a company here from France. It's headquartered in France, but it's found in Mount Crawford, and that is Danone. And Danone, or they call it around here Dan One. It's a global leader in the food and beverage industry, but it focuses on health-conscious products like dairy and plant-based foods and bottled water. Some of their known brands that you may have enjoyed or are enjoying is Activia, that's a yogurt, International Delight, put it in coffee, I don't, I drink mine black, but Danone and the Silk Milk.
Yeah, Dannon yogurt, all that kind of stuff. So, and a big plant there in Mount Crawford.
Absolutely.
And you've also got a company from Japan, Daikin.
Right.
They can be found in Verona, Virginia, and they're a leading global manufacturer of air conditioning and refrigeration systems. And they're very well known for their commitment to energy efficient and environmentally friendly products. And then probably everybody's probably heard of Pilgrim's
Everybody's
Pride.
probably heard of Pilgrim's Pride.
Now they're a company that's owned by JBS, which is headquartered in Brazil.
Right.
But here they can be found in Broadway and in Harrisonburg,
Right.
and they're a major player in the
As
poultry
well as
industry.
in all of the farms that grow or raise
Correct.
those chickens and turkey all over.
Correct. And like I say, one of the reasons they're a major player in the poultry industry in this area is because
Right.
of the amount of poultry in this area.
And there's
Rockingham County
Capital.
is the the most producing county of poultry, turkey in the entire state of Virginia, and one of the most in the entire United States, as a matter of fact. And so you've got a lot of that agriculture, a lot of that taking
Poultry
place there in the
farms.
Rockingham County area. But the thing about it is, that's not all of the international companies
No.
you're going to find here in the Shenandoah Valley. There's at least 21 international companies from 13 foreign countries that are represented in the Shenandoah Valley.
Right.
And you know, that's one of the great things about the Shenandoah Valley.
all the
is,
diverse cultures and
Yeah, but it's-
countries that is represented here.
Yeah, but also in addition to that, it's economically very strong, and
Yes.
it's a great place for jobs in a variety of different fields. And I know that you've had an opportunity to help
Right.
folks who are moving in for jobs.
Absolutely. They get transferred here from those companies plus a lot of other ones.
Exactly. And so, like I say, great place economically to live. So, what do you think? Do you think the Shenandoah Valley is similar? Maybe not exactly like, but do you think
Yeah.
it's similar to these other places around the world?
Let us know.
Yeah, maybe there's some places that you thought the Shenandoah Valley is like this particular
Right.
place. Like Leslie says, let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts as well. And also, we'd love to hear from you if you're looking to buy or sell a home. That's obviously why we put our videos out. We want to help folks, and like I say, we've been honored to help a lot of folks. And maybe it's your time. We'd love to help you as well. Just call us, text us, email us. Again, that information is all in the
all down
description
there.
below. That's right. And we'll be able to help you too. Well, Leslie, I think it's time to vamos, or arrivederci, or I'll stop there. Very good. I will stop there because our foreign language is very limited. But it's been fun. We hope you've enjoyed it as well. But until next time, we'll see you around town.